Night of Destruction number 2 of 2014, Irwindale Speedway, the low budget. Tommy, we've made it this far. We've survived 3 events. The cars are all still looking decent right now in the pit area.
Yep.
For the most part.
But that's because 2 of the most exciting events are just about to happen, including one, the Destruction Derby. Is coming up right now on the low budgets. Jeffrey, we've been prepping these cars all week long.
Oh yeah.
You've been getting your car painted all week.
Yep.
The most awesome paint job for a Demolition Derby in my opinion, because if anybody has an idea of what it is, then they love it. But the ones that don't have an idea of what it is, I think they love it even more. You get a rainbow colored car out there for a Destruction Derby event. You don't see that. You see the grungy looking cars, the mean ones that are all spray painted dark black and just ugly looking, or
and here comes
extremely cool painted Demolition Derby cars that just look like a masterpiece of, you know, brick walls and steel and chrome and everything else. And then here comes the Rainbow Dash car.
The Rainbow Dash car. Sarah was busy painting this car up, made it look beautiful. Rainbow Dash, I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for the moment that we finally had a My Little Pony themed car go on track. Not this one that's behind us right now, but the one that I'm getting ready to drive. Or we could paint that up.
We could, that's a nice truck. Yeah. It's got a lot of room for Applejack or Pinkie Pie.
Yeah.
I think that'd be more of a Pinkie Pie.
What about Stutters?
Stutter doesn't, he thinks good things.
Yeah, he does.
But me on the other hand, my girlfriend painted up my car typical Demolition Derby fashion. It's the Joker theme. She had this idea, Harley Quinn and the Joker, girlfriend and the Joker, I guess, out here for the Destruction Derby. And so I'm loving my paint job because I've got literally the Joker's face painted on the front of my car.
It looks very cool.
But the joke's probably going to be on me because I've got the smallest car in this Demolition Derby.
Not only do you have the smallest car, you're also driving a stick.
I'm one of 2 guys out there in a stick shift. The other guy who was pitted next to us, Adam Ditto, has a stick shift as well. And I know for me going into this event, I do have the smallest car, but I've seen people work through it and do halfway decent in small cars. You just got to get lucky though. But I'm more so expecting to either A, kill the car off too soon, or B, just burn the clutch out of it where I'm immobile. So that's what I was looking for. But what about you? You kind of have a big car out there.
Tommy, going into this Demolition Derby, it was all about redemption from the last Demolition Derby. I finished last place. I took 1 hit. I made 1 bad move that took me out immediately in this one. I knew I was not gonna let my car sit out there. If I was gonna have to turn it or do whatever, I wanted to keep it moving, keep it moving. If I was gonna get hit, I wanted to be me to them, not them to me.
Correct.
But the car's painted up, it's rainbows, it's all ready to go. But yeah, my strategy right now is just last. Try to get at least a couple cars under your belt. We'll see how it works.
Well, that's a good strategy for a Demolition Derby.
Thank you.
Well, should we get on it? See what happens?
Wait.
Are you ready for this?
No.
Folks, for the ones that don't know, always going into a Demolition Derby, you have the idea of how much it is going to hurt the next day.
Yes.
Well, it's right now, and it's that time. Let's go crash some cars, Jeffrey. Let's do it.
All right, let's see what Rainbow Dash can do.
Number 14 is Adam Ditto, 87 is Jonathan DiStefano, and the 96 is Brian Nixon. Couple of rules, you sit out for more than 2 minutes, you're done, and you do not try to take a hit on the driver's side door. We're ready to go work with you. out of the car and then make some noise for it, because this guy's going to be silver tomorrow, man.
Are you laughing at me right now?
Yeah. What happened?
I knew the joke would be on me, folks. The last night of destruction, I found myself in the winner's circle. This night of destruction, I walked away from my car in 2 minutes. That thing was a joke for me. But my biggest mistake was taking it easy. I was thinking in my car, which I don't really have too big of a strategy, except for when I put the helmet on and I get down there. And I was thinking about just taking it easy in a way, let the derby go out, thinking that, okay, everybody's gonna go out there and, you know, bump into each other, but then we're gonna really start lining up those hits. My first hit was my big hit. Boom, right into the back. And I had started driving around again, looking for my next target, looking for a place that I can park to shove it in reverse and go. And while I was doing all that searching and waiting, man, was I ever lined up for great hits. And I got knocked out of that derby, I think, in what, 2 minutes?
I don't know.
But in doing so,
you were the first one gone, yeah.
You could see me inside that end car just getting hammered on, beating around. I didn't know what to expect, but I expected it now.
So I get out there, Tommy, and of course, right when the derby starts, as we're staging, I'm kind of thinking, for me, every time I've staged for a derby, I've always been like, I don't like where I am right now. I wish I could be there, or there, or there. I was the last one to pull in. I just pulled in right where I did pull in. And I was like, okay, I have Shayla next to me, and I have Tommy opposite of the arena. So I already know that if someone's gonna hit me, they're gonna have to make some really wild turn just to get me at the beginning, which allows me to set it up. Sometimes guys will go for that kill shot right away, and that's what I was keeping an eye out for, but I knew the drivers around me and I didn't expect it, and it didn't come. So what I did was, once the green flag flew, I was able to start searching around, figuring out where my hits were gonna be, because I knew that Rainbow Dash was gonna give away a pounding tonight.
Oh yeah, that Rainbow Dash had the hoops flying, you know, for that one.
Now Sarah painted Applejack's cutie mark on the back bumper. It's a bit of a ship for her, for both of us. It's a ship. It's pretty hot. So Applejack, unfortunately, was the first thing to go on this car because I was using up that rear bumper. I got a couple good hits in, got another hit in. I'd take a hit on the front end, but the car kept running. It didn't run like a dream, but it didn't show up running like a dream.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't quit. We had a red flag happen in the middle of the race because of a fire that was happening in Dan Pacello's car. You've mentioned him a couple times.
And now is my opportunity to get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just like, what's the point? I got hit once way far out of the arena, so I knew it could happen again.
Yeah.
So I just got out and I actually just wanted to watch because where I was parked, I wasn't even looking at the arena. So I just wanted to look, watch. So yeah.
So this red flag comes out, and those that know Demolition Derbies know that there's really usually one rule besides where it comes into car spec. And that rule is don't hit a driver's door. The red flag comes out. I purposely parked behind a car because I've seen red flag derbies where guys get taken out. So I parked behind, I think it might have actually been your car, now that I think about it.
Yeah. You parked in front of it.
Okay, well, there it is. I parked around his car,
Yeah.
and I see this guy, Kenny Boysvert, who we've competed with before.
Yeah.
We've seen him compete plenty of times, and he's still on a mission. And he completely nails my driver door.
Yeah.
And I just look at the camera and I go, okay. You know, I'm like,
But I guess the good thing about that is even though he did hit you under the red, at least it wasn't anything that could have taken you out of the derby.
I know.
Yeah, it probably bruised your left side pretty good,
Yeah.
but it didn't take you out of the derby.
Yeah.
So that was one way to look at it. Plus, let me put another example in everybody's head that don't know Demolition Derbies very well, is unless everybody at the exact same time knows that there's a red flag via a horn or something, red flag waving, then why stop? You got to keep going.
these guys aren't looking at the lights. The thing is that I think Tom and I, for being at this track as often as we are, we're a little bit more aware of some of the surroundings.
Exactly. There's half the people in the derby that knows where to look for a red flag if it were to come out, and the other half just don't know where to look.
And plus, I saw the fire on Dan's car, so I was already expecting a red flag to come out at some point. So I started back up, and Tommy, we're down to about 5 cars at this point, and I realized I have a chance.
Yeah, you're still running. That means a chance.
Now, we go into this, the green flag flies again, I lay in a couple more hits, and one of the hits was right to your girlfriend. I hit her.
Yep.
And when I hit her, I busted my axle.
Just tore it up. And that car was immobile after that, correct?
Yeah, it would run, but it wouldn't drive. And so I busted the drive wheel on it. It was a dumb mistake on my part, once again, using the front end of a car that was literally had no scratch on the front end. Like, fenders were being hit, but the front end of that car had not been touched. And that car probably would have been good enough to go if I didn't do myself in. I should have just kept sticking with my rear hits, but I thought I saw an opportunity. One thing I didn't mention was at one point at this derby I got on 2 wheels.
You did. That probably could have helped.
Rainbow Dash was flying.
That probably could have helped break your axle a little bit, but it was a total innocent mistake. 2 wheels touched and 1 climb.
No, I did on purpose.
Okay. Yeah.
When I was
could
sitting
tell.
at the angle, now, granted, you see it from the outside, and it looks like the car barely got off the ground. From the inside, it feels like a lot. And honestly, what went through my head is, if this car rolls over, fans are gonna love it. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tommy, I got knocked out. I finished 5th in that event, but your girlfriend kept smashing and smashing and
Shayla
smashing.
Zins earns another trophy in a Demolition Derby out there, a 3rd place finish and a 6-cylinder Lexus out there. The guy who did have a stick shift, like me, ended up winning the race. So you want to see complete opposites? One guy won with one guy fell out first with one. It was a fun derby. It was a hard hitting Demolition Derby, and that crowd just loved every minute of it, and so did I.
And from what we've heard, from the get-go, from the green flag, people had not seen hits like that that quick.
Cars were crunching.
Just immediately.
Yep.
Well, Tommy, the Demolition Derby's done, but there's still 3 cars back in the pit area ready to
Oh boy, the big tanks are getting warmed up and locked and loaded. Jeffrey, it's time for Trailer Race Freestyle at Irwindale Speedway to end the Night of Destruction number 2 at Irwindale Speedway. Coming up next.